guys, what's up? It's me, MJFANGIRL, and I'm here with
MJJ Anonymous.
MJJ Anonymous, and we're here today because we're going to be doing a track-by-track review of Thriller 40. Now, this is something that you guys have probably all gotten by now, probably all listened to a bunch of times. We've listened to it a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we've got some opinions that we're going to be sharing with you guys. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. This is a track-by-track Thriller 40 by Michael Jackson review. You are now watching MJFANGIRL TV.
Girl, you got to know. We can touch the sky and let
Alright guys, so if you have not seen my face before, my name is MJFANGIRL and I make videos for and about the Michael Jackson fan community. If you guys are here from my recent Thriller Nights vlog, welcome. That video has up to, I think it's 105,000 views already. So yes, and big thanks to MJJ Anonymous, which if you did not know, we are married. We are both Michael Jackson fans that met in the AOL chat room way back in the day as teenagers.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, and so we both have been fans for a really long time. So without further ado, let's get into Thriller 40. Now, what we're going to be doing today is listening to all of the tracks right here. If you're interested in the uncut version where you could actually hear the music, go on over to Patreon, patreon.com/MJFANGIRL. But here on YouTube, we're going to be listening and I'll edit it, and then you guys can just hear like our reactions afterwards. So, should we get into it?
Yeah, we're gonna listen to the tracks from the second CD.
Yes, from the second CD, that's right. So if you guys did not know, thank you. If you guys didn't know, Thriller 40 actually is a double disc CD. The first is like the original tracks, and then the second CD is 10 well, I'll say officially unreleased, rare tracks and demos. So
it's hard to categorize it because some of them have been on other CDs of Michael's, so
yeah.
I don't know what to say. You nailed it.
Right. Okay, so let's get into it. By the way, if we're looking over that way, we are distracted because MJ Fan Baby is over there. Our baby's over there. So while she's playing, we're taking the time out to do this. So if we keep looking over there, don't mind us. Thoughts and opinions on Starlight?
I thought that it was pretty structured the same way as the Thriller track. You know, the bass line had the same kind of da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. And yes, she agrees. And the chords are the same, and the bridge is there. A lot of the harmonies he does are there too. So it really was just about changing the idea of the song. So she's gonna take over. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing about Starlight that I really enjoyed was seeing how close to the end result Thriller song that actually was on the album it was. Like, to me, as someone that doesn't do music at all, you would think that when songwriters create songs that they start from the lyrics. But this was kind of the opposite, right? The lyrics were already written by Rod Temperton, and it had this like space theme. Actually, I had seen a tweet that that was shared on Twitter that was talking about how it was kind of like around the time of Star Wars, and then Michael was photographed with the lightsaber, and that was the original theme, but he thought it was cheesy and then asked them to rework it into something with scary undertones, and that's when Rod Temperton came back with Thriller.
Right, and I feel like they really knew it was a hit because, again, they didn't change much of the song structure, the chords, whereas like Al Capone, that was pretty different from the end result of Smooth Criminal.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed this, and if I'm honest with you guys, I was never somebody that listened to a lot of leaked music, so this is my first time hearing the entire Starlight. Yes, MJFANGIRL does not listen to leaks, and he knows this.
I do. Yeah,
he listens to a lot of leaks, so that's why I thought it would be a really good idea for both of us to jump on here because... Alright, so got the hots. I'm gonna go first on this one because this is a song that I have loved for a long time. It was released, I believe, in a compilation in some other countries. I think Japan is one of them in 2008, I think. Not exactly sure, but it was released officially, just not in the USA. And this was always one that I loved. Another Rod Temperton track, of course I'm referencing the notes here. And another Rod Temperton track that I think was just something that was left off, but with good reason. You know, a lot of times you get tracks that were not on an album and you're like, man, that should have been on there. Like, to me, you mentioned Al Capone earlier. I think Al Capone would have been so cool on the Bad album, because I love it that much. But, yeah, this one, I mean, I could do without it. Although I love the song, I don't think it has a place on the Thriller album.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is where would that fit, you know? Like, it doesn't really match the Thriller theme, all those songs on that album. But I always wonder about that. You think, oh, this wouldn't fit the album, but then if it was released and that's the album, you heard it, you might be like, oh, this is so cool, I'm glad they put this on here. I don't know, I just felt that it kind of didn't really have a strong theme to it, and they were gonna be like, yeah, this could fit right between Billie Jean and Beat It, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below, did you guys like Got the Hots when you first heard it? I mean, we've all probably heard it online. And if you haven't, and if you're one of the people like me that really doesn't get into leagues and indulge in those kind of tracks, let me know. Are you hearing this for the first time, and what'd you think? But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the next track, which is track number 3, which is Who Do You Know? Demo. Now, yes, really, really good. I think we gotta mention that this was produced by Michael Jackson. Some of these were produced by Quincy because they went a little bit further along in the process, but Who Do You Know was produced by Michael, and it's definitely a demo, something that I think none of us have really heard. Who Do You Know, I think, was a really special track because it reminded me of those like authentic R&B roots that Michael came from. It reminds me of like the songs with stories behind them, similar to like Motown songs, you know? It reminds me of just, yeah, a lot of the old school Motown, like the songs with that talk about things that you could actually like visualize in your mind. And it reminds me of songs like I Can't Help It, you know, Rock With You, like just a really, really, I don't know, it has like a lot of impact, I feel.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's more the music that kind of attracted me to this song. Out of all these 10 tracks, this is my favorite one for sure. And it's just about that keyboard that's playing in the verse and the strings that come in the chorus. It's just a cool little ballad for its day.
Yeah, and another thing that I wanted to mention is just, you know, just the fact that I think you mentioned this in the actual while the song was playing. So the Paul Anka song that he did,
right?
Was it This Is It? This Is It, right?
Yep.
MJJ Anonymous mentioned that it kind of has that kind of sound, right?
Yeah, it has that kind of feel, slow ballad. This is more of a love song though, but I thought it was really cool. I loved it, and it had that feel that he kind of did with Paul Anka. So maybe, you know, along with these power songs that he had of Beat It and Thriller and stuff, he was practicing a lot on more ballad music with other people and himself.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved if this would have come out as like a B-side to something. But you know what? Michael Jackson is the gift that keeps on giving, because he recorded tons and tons and hundreds of demos, and looks like we're getting fed them little bits at a time. And so I like this. I mean, I think it was a really good song, and this is a song that definitely I could see myself driving to. Definitely I could see myself cleaning to. You know, when you can clean to a song, you know that it's got some good quality behind it, because everybody could use a good cleaning soundtrack. Alright, so the next song is actually Carousel, which we all know. It's like, do we need to do that?
It's what you guys want.
Right?
What do you guys want?
I feel like Carousel is not that exciting for, because it's been totally released before.
Yeah.
I feel like we could skip listening to that one and just give our thoughts about it. Carousel.
She's from a world of popcorn and candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody wrote it for him, right?
Yeah, it says actually in the liner notes, good point, by Michael Cimbella and Don Freeman. Yes, I know.
Let's finish our comments before she finishes us.
I know. I feel like it's a lot more of a playful song. Sounds like, I don't know, it sounds more of like the idea of Michael Jackson and actually like him. If that makes sense.
And it would have been really weird to hear it just show up on a Thriller album.
Yeah, like
what is this?
It definitely doesn't fit. So yeah, that's our thoughts about Carousel. I actually like the song, but it's not something that I run to or enjoy that much. And it's funny because he ended up having like a carousel and those rides and all that stuff at Neverland, but I don't really feel like it's Michael Jackson at its core, the song and the lyrical content. But
maybe if things were like today where people artists just let out singles and don't put them on their albums, that'd have been a cool single.
okay,
Yeah.
so into the next song, which is Behind the Mask, Mike's Mix Demo. We all know Behind the Mask from the Thriller, the Michael album. But the backstory. I think I should read that because this is interesting to me. So this is written by Michael Jackson, Chris Mosdell, and Ryuichi Sakamoto. After hearing the original instrumental recording of this song by the group Yellow Magic Orchestra, Michael reached out to them to ask if he could create a version of the song with lyrics. They readily agreed, and Michael wrote the lyrics and recorded the demo, which he played at a listening session at his home, attended by Quincy Jones, Rod Temperton, and Greg Philly Gaines, at which Michael also played the demos for Billie Jean, Beat It, and Wanna Be Startin' Something.
Wow.
Tough competition. That is just my comment. Unfortunately, Michael worked on the track over the years. A finished version wasn't released until the Michael album, but this original demo by Michael has never been released. So, with that being said, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's pretend like we're Quincy Jones and Havenhurst listening to the track.
Yes.
You know, it's very similar to what we already heard on the Michael album as far as his vocal tracks, and they didn't really change the chords around too much, same idea. I thought it was kind of cool to hear the original take on it,
Yeah.
but I can see why they chose to move forward with Beat It and what was the other song?
I think Wanna Be Startin' Something and Billie Jean.
Yeah. Kind of a no-brainer. They were like, these songs have a little bit more drive to it. This one's kind of like dun 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 dun. Like,
Yeah.
They didn't really see it as being, I don't know, one of the, like a top track that could go on to Thriller album.
Right. And again, like what you were saying, like the drive and like the messaging too, like I really, like this is not a song that speaks to me lyrically, and I feel like all those other songs really do, like even the ones that don't have a visual, like Wanna Be Startin' Something has like that really powerful message, and I think Michael really cared about messaging behind his music, and yeah, I just don't see that this would have fit. But I do think that it was really cool because you could hear how close it was to the actual track, and not to take away from Quincy Jones, but a lot of people always give Quincy like all of the credit when it comes to producing these tracks, and this is an example of a track that sounds pretty much done, and if you listen to like the Billie Jean demo and everything, they sound pretty much like that too before he brought it to Quincy. So just a testament to Michael as a producer too. Right, you guys. All right, you guys. So we are back, and we are going to be talking about Can't Get Out of the Rain. Most of you guys, if you're familiar with The Wiz, you already kind of know this. And the reason why is because this song was co-written by Michael and Quincy, and although it wasn't released on the Thriller album, it was the B-side of the first single for the album, The Girl Is Mine. And it's literally just like the disco remix, I feel like. I had read somewhere, the disco remix of You Can't Win.
I mean, it was never going to be on the Thriller album. I don't think. Was that ever a consideration?
I don't think so.
So why is that on here?
Okay, it says that because it wasn't on the Thriller album, it was the B-side of the first single for the album, The Girl Is Mine.
But it was in The Wiz first, right?
Well, okay, so You Can't Win was in The Wiz, and then this is like part of the song or outtakes from that song that was like later released as like the disco club mix or something that they played in the clubs at the time.
Huh.
That's what I had read online. But if someone was around back then that knows, you know, the history of the music, let me know, because, yeah, again, like, why is this on here?
Right.
I think it was just like an easy choice because of the fact that it was a B-side for a Thriller single, and that's why they were like, it counts.
Yeah, maybe they're running out of demos to put on here, and they needed 10 tracks to match the first 10 tracks of CD1.
Right. And now here's another thought, is it, you know, a lot of people say, oh, the estate has so much stuff or whatever, and a lot of people think they have nothing. What do you guys think? Because I'm of the belief that they have quite a lot, but that they need to spread it out over the course of years. They're playing the long game. That's what I think, because, you know, right now I'm 35. When I'm 50, that's 15 years from now. Okay, no. When I'm 45, I'd like to see Thriller 50. And then on Thriller 50, I like to hear 1 or 2 more tracks then too.
10.
10. Give us 10 tracks, right? So I don't necessarily want everything at one time. And that's my perspective. Because also, what about, you know, the next generation? Like our daughter, if she decides that she loves Michael Jackson or any other artist, should she not get some new stuff too? Like, that's cool. That's a part of bringing the next generation in, is getting them excited about new releases. And like, to us, fans that have been around for a while, you know, we know stuff like Carousel, we know stuff like Got the Hots. But there may be somebody watching this video right now, or that bought the CD for the first time, just walking around in Target, that did not know. They may be 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, you know? They may have not been around when Michael was here, or they may have been really young not to know his music, or they're just a new fan, same age as us or older than us and just doesn't know. So I always feel like I'd like the estate to save things. So I hope that's their strategy. No other thoughts about Can't Get Out of the Rain, right?
Yeah, there ain't much to it. There's no verse, it's just a bunch of chorus, so it's cool to play as a club song.
Yeah. On to the next, which is the toy demo. Now the toy demo, I'm gonna read you guys this. This is again by Michael, and this ended up being Best of Joy from also the Michael album, which I love. It's such a good song.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite song from the Michael album, for sure.
Yeah, it was really good. It says here in the liner notes, this song was inspired by the Richard Pryor film of the same title. After not making the cut for the Thriller album, Michael continued to work on the song. It first became I Am Your Joy, and ultimately evolved into a song Michael continued to work on for years, which was ultimately released on the album Michael, entitled Best of Joy. Now for the first time, the original incarnation of this song is being released. Okay, so this is inspired by The Toy by Richard Pryor. Okay, the IMDb description, it says, an underemployed reporter finds himself literally purchased as a toy for a rich spoil brat. So that's kind of funny. Alright, with that being said, let's listen to The Toy. So, what do you guys think about that? My thoughts, I'll go first with this. Again, knowing, well, not again, because if you're watching the YouTube version of this, you didn't catch the other thought that I had while the track was playing. But this was based on the movie The Toy, which Richard Pryor is hired to be, I guess, like a toy, literally, to a rich kid. I'm assuming this is like more of like a friendship type thing. So interesting to see that a song that I'd always perceived as like romantic love, what he was talking about, maybe even came from the song that was, maybe came from a concept that was more of like a friendship love, or like a brotherly love even. I don't know. I've got to watch the movie now.
It is cool to hear, like, this really does sound like a demo. Stop it. This really does sound like a demo. Because what we hear on the Michael album feels like a full song. And also the vocal tracks that are on this Thriller 40 sound like a younger Michael than the one that was on Best of Joy, the Michael album. So
yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, they said he kept playing with it, so he probably kept re-recording the vocals and as they were, you know, writing it throughout the years.
And that's another thing that I wanted to mention too, is that, you know, Michael always talks about how he does tons and tons of demos and stuff, and, you know, a lot of the demos, I wonder how many he actually revisited to keep going over and over, or how many were just like shells of a song, things that really were not even much of anything.
I know one.
Yeah?
I like the way how you holding me.
Oh yeah.
He did that a couple times.
Yeah. They released a few different versions of it, right? 2
versions I know of.
Okay.
First was the Ultimate Collection, and the other one was I think the Michael album, right? Or no, was it Escape? Escape.
Oh, maybe it was
God,
Escape.
get away from the...
That's another song that I was just like, I don't know. We've never talked about those. Oh.
I'll be back.
We'll be back. Well, it's just me right now, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background about Sunset Driver. Sunset Driver is the demo. Again, this was on another album before. But yeah, wasn't it? Sunset Driver was on the Ultimate Collection.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't know if this demo was, so we'll listen to it. I'm not sure. Comment down below if you know if this is the exact iteration of this song. This is another song by Michael, originally wrote for the Thriller album. Although Michael also considered it for bad, he never finished it but released it as a bonus track on the Ultimate Collection in 2004. It was also one of the songs featured in the Ubisoft game, Michael Jackson The Experience. Yes, we know that a game. I've never played that on this channel, but I feel like we had discussed getting, do we have the console for that?
I think it's Wii, right? Nintendo Wii? Or maybe even Xbox 360?
Yeah, one of those. Do we
But-
have one of those?
We have Xbox 360, but I don't know what console the game is for.
Okay. I think it was either 360 or the Wii. If we could get that, that would be a fun video to do. It's so old now, but people have been asking me to do that.
Yeah, I know that the Wii, when we looked at it at a used store game, it was like upwards of 150 bucks for the console.
Yeah. So that would work.
We could.
Yeah.
It's for the channel, it's for your fans.
Exactly. All right, we went off on a tangent there, but it was also one of the songs featured in Michael Jackson's Experience. The mixer on the original 1982 demo was Bill Bottrell, who would go on to co-produce tracks on Michael's Dangerous album. Okay, so thoughts on Sunset Driver. Again, this is a track that we have heard before on the Ultimate Collection 2004. I like it. I don't think that I would have wanted it on Thriller, but I did see somebody online say that this is like one of the best demos they've ever heard, or one of the best non-album tracks they've ever heard. And I would say it's pretty up there for me.
Yeah, it's really good quality. You can tell it's a full song. They worked on it from beginning to end for sure. Thriller album, I don't know about that. But
Right.
it's a cool song. I like it. I liked it when it came out on the Ultimate Collection. I used to listen to it a lot.
Yeah, and I'm someone that really did, I'll be honest with you, I didn't listen to it too often, but it just reminds me of the very first time that I did hear it. I started really just thinking about California. I don't know, I mean, obviously Sunset Boulevard, Sunset Drive, like, is that a thing? I gotta figure out what it was that inspired him to write this song. Okay, so now we get into another track that I think all of us fans really love. What a Lovely Way to Go.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
It was really good. Here's the liner notes. This was actually a song originally written by Michael Jackson in the late 70s, but revisited by him at the time he was writing songs for Thriller. It didn't make the album and had never been released until now. So our thoughts just after listening to this, like you said, definitely a demo. Thoughts were not really, how did you describe it again? Just because Patreon people are not, Patreon people would have heard your thing, but YouTube people won't.
What's it talking
You were saying not really well thought out, carved out yet. You didn't have the lyrics.
Oh yeah. So
Elton John.
Right. So I noticed that right away when it starts playing the piano intro, that it stood out to me as like an Elton John feel or a Queen feel, and as you can tell, there's not a lot of lyrics in it. It's not structured yet with I don't know, there wasn't really like a storyline or anything going on, and
Yeah.
it was just keyboard vocals, a little beatbox at the end, and that was it.
Right. So like not really much of a demo. I mean, it's a demo, but it's not like even close to what it probably would have been if it was actually finished.
Right.
But I like it because I feel like it just gives me like that vibe of being there in the 70s with Michael chilling in his home studio making music. And so I think that's a really intimate look at Michael as an artist for us fans. So I love stuff like that, and I'm really grateful that they decided to release this.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm glad because this is, it's the length, I think, is 4 minutes. Not like a 45-second demo. Now, when we get, into our 60s and 70s, maybe they'll be releasing demos that are only 30 seconds long, going into the vault for some of the stuff that really wasn't finished. But I like stuff like this because it feels close-ish to a finished song.
It'd be like voicemail recordings.
Right, I know, right? All right, so we have one more song left. I dropped my album cover, my little booklet here. We have one last song to go, and that's She's Trouble. Demo. Let's get into it. It's been a challenge, but the baby has been cooperative over here. Yeah, you cooperative. This was not written by Michael. The songwriters Terry Britton, Sue Schifrin, and William Livesey gave this song to Quincy for consideration on Thriller. Although Michael demoed the song, it didn't make the album, and the songwriters then gave the song to other artists to record and release. this is the first time Michael's demo is being released. Now the question is who else released this, right? Yes, that was a good song. I really like it. We talked about this being one of the like more finished sounding songs, one of them that sound like it would fit on the Thriller album more than anything else really on this second CD.
I agree. I think that, you know, they probably would have messed around with the lyrics a little bit or re-recorded a lot of the instruments because it was a demo, but it was already kind of a full song and strong enough to be on like a Thriller album.
Yeah, and I wonder, you know, I was just saying that also they must be really proud, the writers, that even though it didn't make it on the Thriller album, now it is officially on Thriller 40.
Technically on the Thriller album.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I like it. I feel like it was a strong song. Do I feel like it would have substituted for anything on Thriller? Maybe. But I would like to say that this might be my favorite after What a Lovely Way to Go. Sorry, I dropped my CD. I think after What a Lovely Way to Go, this is... Oh no, sorry. Who Do You Know?
Who do you know?
Who Do You Know? And then I would say She's Trouble is my favorite.
Yeah.
On here. Like real contenders for the album.
Who Do You Know is my favorite for sure. And then... yeah, I guess She's Trouble. It'll be the second top two for me too, actually.
Yeah. I feel like we tend to kind of have similar, well, for some of this, most of Michael's catalog, we have like a similar type of song that we like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, comment down below and let us know what you guys think. Also, I need to do a video, but I don't know when I'm going to have time to do it, so I want to talk really quickly about the 4K videos. The 4K versions of Thriller and Beat It that came out.
Sick.
Really nice, right?
Please do them all in 4K.
I know.
And
like
fully restored like you did the Thriller.
I gotta be honest with you guys, I was always somebody that was like, who cares, 4K, who cares? But when I saw Thriller in 4K, I was like, oh. It was the same, it was literally like the same as Thriller 3D, except obviously it doesn't have that depth of field, the 3D. But that's how it looked. Remember years ago I did my video about Thriller 3D, the review, and I was like shell-shocked because it looked like Michael was a human, real person, like he was jumping out at us.
Right.
You felt that way with this 4K version too, right?
Yeah, it looked way more clear. You could see the makeup on him, and especially the Wolverine, or what is it called?
Werecat.
The Werecat transformation was definitely pretty trippy.
Yeah, like that actually scared me. And Beat It, I didn't watch. No, I'm just kidding. I did watch it.
I watched it too.
I'm just kidding. I liked it as well. I thought that was awesome. Waiting for Billie Jean.
It's very clear.
Yes. But the baby's getting a little bit fussy now. So we've got to go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.
Thank you.
MJJ Anonymous is out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, leave your comments down below about Thriller 40. There she goes. Yeah. Yes. Leave your comments down below about Thriller 40. Thank you guys for your patience. I know it's been like 2 weeks or more.
Yeah.
But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you want to hear the full version of this video, including like the songs in the background, make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. You don't have to stay there because I honestly, especially now with the baby and everything, I rarely have time to film my regular videos. So Patreon is not really something that I'm able to do on a weekly or even monthly basis, but when I have special things, especially like this, I want to include that on Patreon. It's only $3, and then you get access to everything that's already on there. So I have like some podcasts that I did, a full review with spoilers of MJ the Musical, my experience at Thriller Nights the very first time that I went, which was last year, and a couple other videos. So Q&As, some information for those of you guys that are interested in YouTube, like how to do it, like how to do like social media creator type stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna get off of here because I've been talking way too long.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye with your hand. Bye-bye. Bye guys.